In this third part, we are going to make the bridge. We're going to cut this out of the ash that we had earlier. And we're going to glue all of these components on, drill the holes for the nuts, and then the bridge will be ready to go. So the first thing we want to do with the bridge is just take that down to about 10 mil. We want about a 10 mil slice of it to actually make the bridge with, and I'm going to do that with the bandsaw. Like so. Now we want another piece the same to make the piece that goes over the top of the teeth. So whilst we're here, I'm just going to take another one off this. Okay, so this is the piece of wood that we're going to use for the bridge. Now, yesterday when I spoke of this, I believe I said it was 65 centimetres long, which was an error. It is indeed 44.5 centimetres long. We've put a curve on this and a similar mirrored curve on the top of it. Now, I do have a template which I've been using to make this curve, but you can indeed do it by eye. The main thing is that your width here, and your width here, and your width here are the same. Then you could just sketch that in. And as you're sanding it, rasping it, you can make it nice and uniform. Now, fortunately we'll have a good bandsaw here, so we can bandsaw this out pretty easily. If you don't have a bandsaw, you could plane that, you could use a spoke shave, use a coping saw, a rasp. Many ways of doing it. I'm going to do it on this bandsaw. Okay, with these pieces cut, what we want to do now is just smooth them down, get a nice finish off on them, try to take any discrepancies out of the curves and tidy the whole thing up. So these are the components for the bridge that we've got so far. This piece here is offset, it's not central and it's not high on the bridge, because we want to put this piece of steel rod just above it for the teeth to actually rest against. Next thing that we want to do with this is make a couple of holes on either side of it so that we can bolt the whole bridge to the Rumba box, and we need to drill the holes through here and here to take the bolts, which will take the teeth, like so. Now to do that, we want to find the centre of this one, which is there, and find the centre of the bottom one, which is there. So if we line those two up, then we know we've got this much to play with either side for those bolts. Now, I'm seeing that we've got about 42 there, so I'm going to mark 22 in, and similarly 22 in on the other side. And if we take the centre of it this way, that is 65, so it's 32.5. Now this one again, from the centre mark, we want to mark out 40, and then another 40, and another 40, and another 40, and the same coming back the other way. Okay, so we've at the bench press, we've clamped this together, and this is just so we're going to get these holes in exactly the same place on both pieces of wood, and we're just going to drill out all of these holes and take it from there. So with those holes drilled, we're going to use these bolts to put through the back of the bridge, like so. That will go through the front piece, and the teeth are going to go in between and be tightened up with a wing nut. But we want the bridge to sit flush against the front of the Rumba box, So we need to recess these bolts on the back of the bridge so that the head will allow the bridge to sit flush with the front of the box. So we're going to do that now. So here we have the back of the bridge with the holes recessed for the bolts, and I'm just mixing up a little bit of epoxy resin here, and what I'm going to do is put a little bit of that just on the flange of the bolt, like so, and stick that through there. It's best to put it on the top of the bolt instead of into here, because if you put it on there you're going to get it into the threads of the bolt, and then that won't be the best thing. So a little bit on each one of those, like so. Be a little bit messy to do, but if that's going on this way, then we want the epoxy resin just on the back of this bar. Just want a little line of it. This is going to be held pressure down by the teeth themselves, but this will just keep it in place. Place it. I'm going to put some clamps on here just with a light pressure. We don't want it moving around, but we do want some pressure on it. So with all of that glued up, we're now going to leave that overnight, let that go off. The front and the back are on the Rumba box. Once the glue is off there, we are then going to fit the bridge to the front of the Rumba box.